they didn't just win the game. They beat us pretty bad. And so for us, and again, I don't like to say that this game is more important than the next game. Every game is extremely important. But there comes a certain point, when you're in competition, if the wins and losses are as lopsided as those two losses, that should shake you up a little bit. And at the end of the day, if we win tomorrow or win the next two games or how many games we play them, that doesn't necessarily guarantee we're going to beat them come playoff time, or vice versa. I'm a firm believer in that. I've been around this thing too long to see some teams go 0-4 and still win the series, or some teams go 3-4 and still win the series. So that part doesn't matter. It's just about how the first two games turned out against us.
All right, do the Knicks need to win tonight to prove they can beat the Pistons in the postseason?
Well, the first things before I answer that question, Carmen sends her love. My sister sends her love. She misses you dearly. You know what I'm saying? She loves you as well. And she sit up there and said, I love this show. And she said, but she agrees the slap should have been number one.
That's it. The slap was
She
just
said the list was
blatant.
hilarious, but slap should have been number one. I say the groin kick personally, but that's just me. Okay, that's just me.
Tell Carmen I say what's up.
You already telling her. She watching
Carmen,
you right now?
Hello. Hey, and look, I need some of those groceries. That ain't just
You call it grocery. You don't call it. You gonna call it a meal. Groceries. Call it cooking groceries.
It's not a meal. I need the whole. Yeah.
He need the whole buffet. Buffet. So I just want to. You'll see Carmen.
And no reason to go to a buffet and just eat a salad.
Why don't you just say hi to Carmen instead of asking?
That's my girl. Hey,
Carmen. Okay, you be asking for food.
That's my way of speaking.
Oh, I
That's right.
Okay, got
He's
it.
speaking
love language.
Damn right. Damn right.
Exactly.
Damn
You know what I
right.
mean?
Say it if it's true. Here's the deal, y'all. Knicks can't lose this game. They can't lose this game and maintain credibility when it comes to this season. There's no Isaiah Stewart. There's no Durant. There's no front line to speak of with the Detroit Pistons. And you at the Garden. You ain't in Motown. They at the Mecca. You gotta kick their ass. And if you don't, and dare I say you get your ass kicked, I'm not going to have faith that you're going to turn around after going 0-3 against the Pistons and get shellacked this year, that you're going to go into the postseason and be able to take them, especially when the road through the playoffs has to go through Detroit. I'm not going to be that confident. Once again, this is what I'm saying when I'm saying that y'all don't really grasp the magnitude of this. We thought, if you're a New York Knicks fan, you like this. Detroit, they're young. Orlando, young. Boston, no Tatum, they injured. Cleveland, they wet the bed in the playoffs last year. We got it. This is ours. And then the season go on, and Detroit look like something different, and Cleveland go and they get hardened. I mean, and Jaylen Brown looking like an MVP candidate, averaging 29 a game. You're like, this was not supposed to go this way. You cannot empower these cats even more. Knicks got to handle their business. They better win tonight.
Go ahead, Perk.
No, I agree. But it's not because I'm worried about the long haul. I am somewhat. I'm not really worried with Big Body Brunson, but they need it for themselves. Like, they need it for their own confidence. Like, you don't want to, it's less than 30 games. Let's keep it real. Because of the addition of the play-in tournament, the playoffs officially start tonight in both conferences. Like, it's going to be a brawl for it all. We're less than 30 games into the season, and you want to have that moment against a team so you can feel confident that, hey, man, I know we got them. Because you done got smoked in back-to-back games that you done played against this unit. I don't necessarily know if it's going to help develop their confidence because the two horses are not playing. And that's a major factor. Why? Because Karl Anthony Towns, if they happen to match up in the Eastern Conference Finals like we all believe is going to happen, Karl Anthony Towns is going to have to be ready to get his feet hot with those two grown-ass men in the middle. And tonight he should be able to dominate because there's nothing else. And no disrespect to Paul Reed, because Paul Reed will still give you 20.
Yeah, he'll play hard. On the cat aspect, I think this is the opportunity. You made a great point in the first hour about you feel that the Knicks are playing with house money. because a guy like Giannis is out there looming around, right? So I look at it and I say, is tonight's game big? Of course it's big. It's big. But if the Knicks lose to Detroit tonight, I'm not going to not have credibility in the Knicks, and the Knicks are still there to win it. I think it really comes down to Karl Anthony Towns and how he will handle the physicality of Duran and Stewart. Because that's what we're really talking about here, ain't it? I don't know how y'all feel, but when I go to Knicks games and you're like, okay, if there's all this talk around Karl Anthony Towns, potentially Mikal Bridges being traded for a guy like Giannis, you're not talking about trading Big Buddy Bronson. You're talking about it coming down to the physicality and how does Cat handle that.
So without those two players for the Pistons tonight, if the Knicks do win, does that not matter to you? Do you still feel like, I don't know, I got to wait to see the Pistons are fully all together?
I just don't put so much onus on one game where I'm going to lose confidence in a team that's built more for the playoffs.
But I'm not putting it on one game.
You're putting it on three.
I'm putting it on three. A season of ass kickings every time you saw this team. That's what I'm putting it on. I'm putting it on, this depth that you're supposed to have, how you're supposed to be as efficient defensively, but even better offensively, and that's not what we're seeing. The Detroit Pistons are shooting 54% from the field against the Knicks this year, 47% from three-point range. You gonna get out and you gonna do something about that? You gonna do something about that? We can bring up Big Body Brunson all we want to. That brother gonna find a way to get his when it counts. I believe in him. Offensively, but defensively, he ain't gonna stop anybody. And on top of it all, what you gonna do collectively as a defense? We looked at the Knicks, cardiac kids, under Tom Thibodeau. They were feisty, they fought. They grinded. That's why we fell in love with Josh Hart. Because we see what he brings to the table, that Energizer Bunny that he is. You're looking for the rest of these cats, and it's like, where y'all at? Do you understand that the Detroit Pistons are coming at you like that? J.B. Bickerstaff came on national television right here on First Take. We gonna get him. I really don't understand why you, of all people, have to be convinced. You as feisty. Let me finish. Let me finish. You're as feisty as they come. See, so what I don't like about here's what I don't like about when it comes to Jay.
I'm the little brother.
But when Jay, people talk about him because they see him talking about business and they know that he knows the NBA and they know he knows basketball and they see him as an analyst. They forget Player of the Year. They forget National Champion. They forget. Let me tell you right now. You got Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley and all of these cats. Let me tell you something right now. The bottom line is Jay Williams was one. To me, you went Grant Hill.
Okay.
You went Grant Hill.
I'll take that.
When I look at the greatest Duke players, no disrespect, Christian Laettner was great. But when I look at talent and I see this brother, I'm like one of the greatest players ever in college basketball. And one of the greatest gifts you had was your feistiness. Somebody talking stuff to you. You used to love. That's how you became famous. It wasn't that you dropped 25 on somebody. It's that you loved doing it on the road and shutting people up. And talking, what the hell are you talking about?
Right.
I'm gonna bust your. And you were unapologetic.
Right.
But we bring that up about what the Detroit Pistons are doing to the Knicks, and you're like, I don't get it.
First off, I didn't say it like that. I didn't say it like that.
That concerns me.
I know. Well,
that concerns me. You supposed to be the first one to pick up on, yo, Knicks. You see how Detroit coming at you? What you gonna do about that? What you gonna do about that? That's what you're supposed to be doing.
It's fluid. It's fluid. It's a long season.
It's fluid. No.
It's fluid.
I don't feel like it's long for the Knicks to have lost to an embarrassing fashion.
It's a certain type of motion.
It's not too far out. It's compressed.
Like an ab workout a little bit.
Also, you guys talking about Jalen Brunson getting his when he wants it, when he went 0 for 8 from 3 the last time he played the ball. That's a problem.
No.
That won't last.
No. He has to take it personal. I trust him. But them dogs they have over there, Sewell Thompson, Hollins,
they gonna want to
Jenkins, they won't smoke.
That's who they are.
In any kind of competition, I don't give a damn what field you're in. When somebody comes to you in your chosen profession and tells you ahead of time that they're gonna kick your ass, and then faces you 2 times and actually does it, that is a time to take them seriously. They're not. The Detroit Pistons are not playing. They want the Knicks badly. And they have said so. And then they have shown it. What do you have to do? Get knocked out and then they stomp on your damn face and chest along the way and then kick your ass out of Madison Square Garden for you to get the message? The message has been delivered.
Well,
they have bust Y'all behind. And they telling you they gonna do it before they do it. And they gonna roll up in the Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden. You gonna roll up in here without your big boys? And you gonna let them beat you again? That cannot happen. That cannot happen. New York Knicks better win this game tonight. They better win this game tonight.